Hello everyone and welcome to my video today. Today I want to present you a +16 Dawnbreaker. My name is Doom and I'm playing Windwalker on a POV on Windwalker, and I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks at the bosses, at the bigger trash packs that might be a little bit difficult, and to show you a few tips how you can just handle those. At the start, as always, I made my two macros in the group. As you can see, I will focus star kick and check talents, just to make sure everyone just has, again, checked its talents. Maybe they were before in raid and just went back to some keys, so it might help just to make sure everyone of your group has chosen the right talents. Alright, in that comp you can see we got a paladin tank. I think one of the best tanks, at least for the kicks. So this is really a good one, just to make sure you have enough CCs on the bigger trash packs. I mean, in Dawnbreaker it's not that big of a necessity that you just have that many kicks, because to be fair, there isn't that much things to kick on this one. But anyways, of course, it helps to just stabilize the group, and of course to just have enough stuff going on a trash pack that you can focus on, and that you just have enough stuff to kick around on that one. So anyway, the comp is really good. We got a lot of single target as well in this group. We got yeah, semi-fifth group, and we got, of course, Bloodlust ongoing. We got a battle rest, what I always recommend having in bigger keys. So we do not Bloodlust on the start, by the way. We just go into Bloodlust the second trash pack. On the first trash pack we just have two targets to be kicked, the two Shadow Mages. Care about the Ritualist with a Stitch and Seed. That's going to hurt especially the person that is being focused. So just make sure to press some defensives, or just to help your healer if you are struggling yourself to stay alive. Don't forget to kick some stuff. And of course, as Windwalker with a higher prior single target damage, you should focus the Ritualist on this one to just make sure that the trash pack is dying kinda equal, because that's really important as well. Here, by the way, you saw I dropped really low. I used a help healing potion just to make sure not to die on this one. And I should have maybe changed a little bit earlier to the Curse Blade to just kill him, because now you see we're losing around 10 seconds minimum on this trash pack, because we haven't had the perfect single target damage on the right target. But I think we just have so many single target damage on the Ritualist that the lower target, normally lower target, just died too early, too fast. So our next trash pack, we got the Commander and the Ritualist. On this one you should also just try to focus Ritualists and the Commander. Depends a bit who is focusing whom the most, but here you see as well, by the way, I just I didn't spend my Crackling Yardy Lightning stacks before. I just were using it on this trash pack. Here you have to press a lot of defenses, because this pack is gonna hurt, even with Bloodlust, even with the healing circle from a shaman healer here. So make sure to not die here. Just focus also a bit on your healing stuff. Don't forget, after each of your Rising Sun kicks, your next healing spell is completely without cast time, so this helps as well for your healer. And this key, yeah, this is a healing key, indeed. A lot of things going on here for the healers, so healers should definitely keep an eye on you, especially with some major stuff that's ongoing here. I know what happened here, by the way, with the flying situation. I'm not a good not a good person to fly, I think. I don't know. But yeah, don't know. Normally, I'm doing better. Here, by the way, the cocoon that is being targeted now by the person in the downside here on the right. You've seen it on Gimli, I think, on the shaman. Yep. That is hurting him a lot here, so make sure to just press a defensive if it's on you. Karma is a good one, because you also make damage with that one, and it's enough here. One defensive on the cocoon, that's one here, bursting cocoon, is enough, but just make sure to press something or to stay at least on high HP, because on a 16 key it does not kill you normally if you are full life and you have a lot of rus. But anyways, you should make sure to just use a defensive, because there's nothing going on in this one, so just make sure to focus on that. By the way, the web mages here on this side and also on the other side, you do not have to kick them normally, especially as a warrior tank, as I said in my other video. Warrior tank can spell reflect, making a lot of damage with the web bolts on the target, so just make sure not to kick them, just leave them, because those web bolts do not really hurt your tank, and only tanks are being focused on that one, yeah? On the other side, where we were before, you have a Shadow Mage ongoing. That means this one is focusing also random targets, so just make sure to kick that one, because that one is going to make a lot of damage, and you have just one target to be kicked by 5 people. That shouldn't be that big of a deal, so just make sure to kick that one, yeah? Here I recommend to focus the web mage, because the bursting cocoon is doing a lot of damage and you may run out of defensive, especially the next boss is also a big boss for healer, so also using defensive on the next boss is kind of important, so you shouldn't have all of your CDs being used just on the 2 trash packs before you're going to the boss, so make sure to have something ready, especially for the healing shield that you're gonna see. On this boss, there's a small explanation what is the boss doing. Here you see the beams that are just being spawned in the 3 different zones, just rotating in one direction. Can be rotating, by the way, in both directions, so make sure to not be moving in the wrong direction. It does not change the direction once it has casted the direction, so it's not like the boss on House of Atonement. It's just moving in one direction, so you don't have to be worried about a change here, yeah? And here in the animation, by the way, before the beams were casted, you have seen the healing absorb that is not that easy to heal. So just make sure here to stay nearby your healer. Normally you try to stay a little bit more melee if you are melee, and rangers just have to bait the circles, yeah? Circles can be baited by the rangers, so if you range, you should not stay melee, otherwise you're going to bait the circles, like you're gonna see now here. You're going to bait them under your melee comp, yeah? Under your person that has to stay melee because of damage, yeah? Here, by the way, I also made some mistakes on other tries, because you do not have to be wiggling here around with the kick. Yes, some people were also like saying, okay, oh, I have to fly back early on because I have to kick the target. That's not true. The cast again on this one only is going on your tank. Yeah, your tank will not die by just one of those casts. So do not wiggle around in the intermission to come back ASAP to the platform. Just play it safe. Do not die in the circle. That makes no sense. So there's not much going on this boss for now. You just see the circles being perfectly baited by our rangers. Just again the beams. Care about your HP. And here you see already I am completely out of my defensives, so I'm just also helping sometimes the healer by focusing on some rising sun kicks into some healing spells, especially here with the absorb shield. It can really hurt, so make sure to just use something, yeah? I don't think there's really more to tell you about the boss. So I'm just going to use the time to just Make sure to leave me an abo, please, if you are liking my videos, or just subscribe if you can, or leave a comment if you have any questions or any recommendations for the next video. I will make more videos, especially about keys, because I have some keys still in petto that I wanna stream for you, to just make sure you are having some more content, and just to show you a few more boss explanations and tips and tricks. By the way, there's nothing special to mention about Windwalkers on this boss. It is just straightforward. Use your normal rotation stuff. I will also make a video where I'm gonna explain some stuff about the rotation, how to maximize the damage, but more in that video. This is just straight on for streets, so for Dawn, of course, for Dawnbreaker. So next trash pick is a bit scary. There's coming some frontals, as you can see here. There's coming some shadowing decays, like the black hails down there on the bottom. You just have to dodge them, make sure to not lose your kicks. Here, by the way, I just stay safe on the dark casters, just to make sure I do not miss any kick. So after just killing those, I'm just going after the shadows, so just killing the shadow mages, and then I'm going to focus the shadow, because it's still enough on single target priority damage, and so I just make sure to not lose my target, because I'm not working with mouse over kicks. Still not there. I'm old school on this one. Maybe because I'm 30 years old. I don't know if it's because of that, but yeah. So here as well a little bit bad focusing, because we're still losing like 10 to 15 seconds on just one mob. I don't know why the tank didn't go a little bit early into the next trash pick, if we just going to focus those two ones with the mini boss, so he could have, I think, gone a little bit faster. So you see, it's not well optimized, but still a decent gear group, especially on focusing kicks, stuns, etc. Was really good, I think, a really good group. And you see here a lot of smaller groups ongoing, so a perfect key for Windwalkers. So yeah, all of you that are not Windwalker mains and just also watching this video, I can tell you, go get some Windwalkers in your group. They are really good in this key, because you have a lot of small groups, and Windwalkers are doing a great job around 5 targets, and you barely never go and have more than 5 here, so give them a chance, just saying, especially in first comes. Here, by the way, we have the first mini boss, Xuen. Yeah, Xuen. It's just doing a small AoE circle that is going to fear, like you can see now. The terrifying slam. Just make sure to roll out and to jump back in. That's like I am doing it mostly, or just go out, play it safe, and go back in after. And the next 3 mini bosses, Xuen and the other 2 of them, are doing also a mechanic that is doing ticking damage, so make sure to just use a defensive on that one as well. Really important that you not die in that one, because they are doing a lot of damage. If you're just doing running sun kick into a healing CD, might save you as well, but there's not going on really much, so it's just like dispel. So I think if you just focus on the defensive around those spells, around your mini bosses, you don't need your defensive on other situations. Normally, if your healer is doing a decent job, of course. Alright then, here by the way I made a small mistake, I think, because I have used my major cooldowns. Even the trash pick was nearly dead, because now we're going to one of the most scariest part of the dungeon, I think, with Tuck, the next mini boss. Here definitely just have to care about the kicks. I recommend as tank not to go too big here, just leave it like it is for now, as he's doing it as well. He's putting one more Darkcaster, but I think if you just want to go safe, especially on a lower key like 16, I mean lower keys anyways, but just on a key like 16 or lower, it is not necessary. But yeah, just 2 casters if you have enough CCs and enough damage for Ikantak that you should have been in your primary target focus. It is fine to just pull like that. Yeah, here you see we use Bloodlust, just fully focus on Ikantak. Don't forget, if the orb is on you, to just bait it through the entrance on the other side where I'm standing now, to just make sure that there is not something going bad and you going to bait the orb on a wrong side and you wipe your group. Because if the orb is just hitting a wall or so nearby you, you're definitely going to wipe. Yeah. Here you've seen, by the way, our healer had a lot of problems to stabilize the group, or he just maybe got killed by a cast. I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, it's anyways, he had Anked, I think, or a battle rest, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, happens. 1 death, not that big of a problem. So last one, this was a little bit scary, I don't know why, because the tank has got lately aggroed, and nearly, I think the H nearly died on this one if he just would have gotten 1 more hit, but yeah. Nothing too big happening here. Here, nothing to be CC'd. Just be careful about this Coxrear, the small mini boss here. Is casting Shadowing Decay, also an AoE cath that is doing a good amount of damage. Here, by the way, I don't know why he is pulling more trash into this one. I would have just played it safe because this is really scary. There are a lot of mobs here, a lot of kicks to be done. I mean, yeah, 2 kicks only, but still a lot of things that's going like the beams you've seen now, the frontal beams, to be dodged, some kicks that you have to do. Also a lot of AoE damage income, so it could be scary, especially like this, with some casts going through, to just pull them with big Coxrear. So I think we didn't play that key safe, especially we had a lot of time left, I think. So I would have played a little bit more safer, especially we did not optimize the route, I think, as well as tank, because if you haven't known yet, you can pull 1 trash pick in between the intermission where the last boss in here is flying to the other place. Yeah, you know, then he's just casting a small AoE, but that's not really that big of a deal. You can just heal it out, and you can make a trash pick mid-while. Yeah, so you just play 2 sets of bombs and the last boss, and then you just make 1 trash pick group, and then you're going back to the boss where the boss is landing. Yeah, so you're saving a lot of time, around 1 minute, for free. We haven't done it in this key, but that's just something I would really recommend as tank, to just optimize your group and to just save around 1 minute if you're low on time or so. Because this key isn't that easy on timing, especially if you have lower DPS or so. I think we had a good DPS comp in this one, so I would give you a tip to just do that, to just play 1 more trash pick mid-while the boss is just flying around. Because if you haven't known, by the way, you can always fly in here, even if you're in fight, yeah? That means as well, on the first boss in here, I haven't mentioned before, if you're struggling with the beams and you're small on space or so, you can just mount up on a flying mount and just fly away, yeah? That works. That's really good. If you just, before you just die in the beam because you have no more space, just go mount up and just fly away, yeah? In this group, nothing special, just do your shadows, 2 casters. So that's what I meant, yeah, here in this key. like if you compare it to like priory, I'm sorry, like priory key, you have just like 2, maybe a maximum of 3 ads that has to be focused on kicks here. It's like nothing like to priory of the Sacred Flame. Yeah, it's a lot more ongoing. So this is just really to play it safe, to just help you heal sometimes on CDs, and yeah, that's all. And here we go, long ongoing. Second boss is coming here. Yeah, here it's just important you see the orb. You have seen the explosion of the orb is doing a lot of damage. It nearly kills you. On a 16 with around now on 719 gear score, it doesn't kill you, so you don't have to use a defensive there just in the overlap, but you should just make sure to not die on that boss, because not using a def CD, especially meanwhile the boss is casting its AoE. Yeah, gonna show you. That's just a Terrifying Slam, the AoE circle, just move out with that. As tank, you should also just pre-move as well, by the way. Yeah? Do not stand at the boss, just give your melees a little bit space to just still attack the boss. That's the AoE cast you've seen now, Shadowing Decay ongoing. You see here, by the way, on the left side, left upside, the next spell is ongoing, yeah? That's just a normal one from, I think it's Big Wigs or Little Wigs. So you see now Terrifying Slam, just care about that one, move out, go back in, kick the small heads by the way, use knockups, stuns, Cack Smashes, Cack Smash them. I mean, our AoE is also helping on this one, but do not over stun. Here, by the way as well, Rising Sun Kick into heal is very important. Help your healers. No need to greet, just play it safe. Yeah? This boss as well is really good, by the way, for the small ads. I would recommend to save your Yardic Crackling Lightning to just use it on the small ads here, like I'm doing now. Kick them, stun them, the small ads, Terrifying Slam. And next Shadowing Decay, AoE. Using here 2 defensives just to make sure that nothing is going to happen. I think it was necessary because especially the next ad group is also hurting a lot, so I should have maybe saved at least one of those. I think would have been better on this one, but yeah, I still got my big defensive, so it's fine. And I got all CDs left, all damaged CDs left for the next trash pack, because next trash pack I think is really annoying, and it's also a big not damage check but more healing check, so nearly everything in this one is I think is a healing check and a rotationing around your own death CDs. So also here this small mini boss is doing 2 small orbs there, tormenting eruptions, and it is going to take a lot. Yeah, so make sure to pre-spread a bit to not overlap them or you instantly dead sometimes. Yeah, so just make sure here to be a bit more spread, kick the ads, knock them, maybe with the Ring of Peace, like I did, is a good option. Make sure to kick the ads and fully focus the Architect, because he is spawning more and more rats. It's kind of annoying, even if those are not that much problem on kicks and not the problem on damage, but it's just like to focus the Architect, especially because of the AoE that's ongoing, because this is hurting a lot. Again, tormenting eruption, you see, it's crazy how it's going to take. I nearly died here because I had nothing left on defensives. So last ads are coming. even if the shadow walkers are not a problem. And then just last boss, you see we're fully on, we're full in our trash, 100% done. And that's what I was mentioning before, yeah, so normally you don't need that. Normally you just have to skip one of the trash packs as mentioned before to just play that one in the intermission when the boss is flying away. That's much better to just save time, I think. Next boss is just like the boss Russian Nun was on Naruba Palace. If you have played that one, the boss is nothing special. You just have 3 bombs that has to be picked up and thrown to the boss. Don't they just be done by your healer? Yeah, it can be done by everyone. So just make sure pick up the bombs whenever they are spawning. Like now, again, as Monk, I normally just take the far one because I'm kinda mobile and fast. Here, by the way, I nearly died. If you've seen it. Nearby the circles, this spray. So make sure to just dodge that one ASAP. I just had no more roll ready, I think. And just one thing I want to show you where you may use some defenses because it's gonna hurt. Give me a second. It's here, erosive spray. Yeah, that's the spell name. I just had to watch the spell name, erosive spray. Yeah, just better defensive here because it can hurt a lot for the healers. And there's nothing else you just have to be worried about. So, and that's what I'm going to mean here. Yeah, you see. Now we're just flying around and just waiting for the boss for around 20 seconds that you're going to lose. You can see 27 on the right corner. 25, 27 was the start. While we're just waiting here, and now we are here on, let's see, 40. Yeah, 47. Yeah, 47. More than 20, 25 seconds just for nothing, yeah? And you can really use that one just to make sure to save that time and to just play one more trash pack. Here just make sure to get the lines away and away with that as well, and use the defensive here before you're going back in, yeah, or just make sure to be full life. Maybe you just do the rising sun kick and you save your heal to just use your heal before you going out, you're running out of the web, yeah, the spinneret strands. So make sure to have a Density or instant heal ready for that to just help your healers to stay alive. Again, dodge the web spray, spinneret strands, go out with that one to the side, defensive or healing CD, get back in. Some spray. This spray is also hurt, by the way, but not that as much, I think, as it hurts on a boat. I'm not quite sure if that's true, but it just felt like it's easier to heal up, so I just always using my defensive and my healing stuff on this one here, on the spinneret strands, because this is hurting the most. Yeah, by the way, as Windwalker and this key, there is not really something specific to mention about the game playing style. It's just more like to play quite well around with your defensives. That's much more important on this one. I wouldn't stand too much on your defensives. I would just use them whenever you can. So you're making sure to just have not too much time mid-value CD, so just use them mostly on CD. Yeah, and here you see GG with not a perfect route, with a decent damage, I think. Yeah, kinda 8 million overall, not completely, 7.5, 7.9 on the hunter. And we have, like you see now, yeah, 230 minutes left. So maybe 30 seconds more with the intermission on the last boss. So that's nearly all I can just tell you on this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm just going to say thank you everyone for just staying with me in this video, just for watching. Thank you. And if you got questions, etc., just tell me down in the comments, and yeah, just watch also the description of the video. I will link the macros I'm using, as well as my major cooldowns in the macro I'm using as well. Yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.